Hey everybody, Mr. Kaczynski here. At the time of this recording, we got a brand new skill here in IXL. It's called Compositions of Congruence Transformations, Graphing the Image. It's in section P. So to do this, we have to know all these rules. I doubt you'll want to memorize them. I would maybe even just take a screenshot of this page and then print it off. All right, I'm not going to explain them all right now. We'll kind of explain them as we use them. So here's what a composition looks like of transformations. It's this, they call it a glide reflection, but it's basically just a translation followed by a reflection. All right, so let's start off by listing all our points here. We got I and J and K. I is at -12, +6. J is at -8, +10. And K is at -4, +6. All right, so those are our original points, X, Y. Then we're going to do a translation using this rule. It basically just means go 14 units down. All right, so X. So what that means is keep the X values the same, so -12 and -8. And -4, and then subtract 14 from the y value. So 6 minus 14 is -8, 10 minus 14 is -4, and 6 minus 14 is -8. All right, but we're not done because we also need to do a reflection across the y-axis. So the rule for that, a reflection across the y-axis, is -xy. All right, so that means take the opposite of x and leave y what it is. So in this case, opposite of -8 is +8. Leave the y as a -4. Opposite of -4 is +4. Leave the y as -8. So now we've got our three new points. 12, -8 is our new I value, or I prime. 8, -4, and then 4, -8. So that would be the same image after a translation 14 units down and then a reflection across the y-axis. Let's do this a few more times. This time we're going to do a 180-degree counterclockwise rotation, followed by a reflection across the x-axis. All right, well, the first thing we need to do is list our original points, S, T, and U. S is at 4, 11. T is at 7, 5. And U is at 13, 8. All right, so those are our original points, X, Y. So we'll start off with the 180-degree counterclockwise rotation. The rule for that is negative y, negative x, negative y. All right, so basically take the opposite of your x and the opposite of your y. Pretty easy. -7, -5, and -13, -8. And then we have to do our reflection across the x-axis, which the rule for that is x, -y. So keep x the same, take the opposite of y. So in this, we're doing this action on the red values. So -4, +11, -7, +5, and -13, +8. All right, careful when we come over and plot them. -4, +11, right here. -7, +5, right there. And -13, +8. if your shape doesn't look the same size, you did something wrong. So mine looks good. And IXL will draw the lines in there for you. All you have to do is plot the points. All right, let's do a couple more. This time we're going to do a reflection across the x-axis, followed by a rotation of 270 degrees counterclockwise. Same idea though. Let's first of all talk about our original points, V, W, and X. V is at 511. W is at 8,8. And X is at 1411. All right, so what are our rules here? What about our reflection across the x-axis? We just used that one. It's x negative y. All right, so our new point's going to be 5, negative 11, 8, negative 8, and 14 rather, negative 11. All right, now we have to do that 270 degrees counterclockwise rotation. The rule for that is y negative x. So y negative x. That one's a little bit complicated. It means that your new x value is your old y value, negative 11, and your new y value is the opposite of your old x value. So instead of 5, negative 5. So keep x is equal to y, and then your y is equal to the opposite of x. It's negative 8. This one's going to be negative 11, negative 14. And those are the points that we'll plot here. Negative 11, negative 5. Then negative 8, negative 8. And negative 11, negative 14. And this is what our shape would look like after a reflection across the x-axis and then a 270 degree counterclockwise rotation. So if we flipped it over here and then rotated it 270 degrees. Let's do one more and I think you'll have the gist of this. This time we're going to do a reflection across the y-axis followed by this translation that means 3 units left and 16 units down. All right, so our original points here, x, y, z. X is at negative 5, positive 2. Y is at negative 9, positive 6. And z is at negative 13, positive 2. All right, first things first, our reflection across the y-axis. That is negative x, y is the rule for that. Take the opposite of x, leave y alone. All right, so positive 5, 2. Positive 9, 6. Positive 13, 2. And then our translation, all right, again, all we have to do is, it's just subtraction. Take away 3 from the x and to take away 16 from the y value. All right, so 5 minus 3 is 2, and 2 minus 16 is negative 14. 9 minus 3 is 6, and 6 minus 16 is negative 10. 13 minus 3 is 10, and 2 minus 16 is negative 14. And then we'll plot these points. So 2, negative 14, there's x prime. 6, negative 10, there's y prime, and 10, negative 14, there's z prime. And there's our new shape after we reflect it across the y-axis. So think about flipping it this way and then just moving it a little bit left and down. That's where it would be. All right, so that's compositions of congruence transformations, called congruence transformations, because after you do these transformations, the shape does not change size at all. Okay, so it's still the same size. And then you graph the image. All right, good luck. Let me know how it goes in the comments.